Hello, I'm Daniel. Welcome to the Emunah Project. In this series of short videos on basic concept, we're going to look at the listing of the Seven Noahide laws as they appear in the Talmud and in the Mishneh Torah. In the Talmud, on page 56a of Masechta Sanhedrin, Tractate Sanhedrin, we have, this is Masechta Sanhedrin, and at the very bottom of the page, see that little gray slash there? That section there, that is the listing in the Gemara of the seven Noahide laws. I'm going to read it out. The rabbis taught in a baraisa. Again, a baraisa is quotes from the rabbis of the Mishnah that didn't make it into the Mishnah, but they were said by those rabbis, and they're very important. Now, here in the Gemara of Sanhedrin, Masechta Sanhedrin 56a, we read, the rabbis taught in a baraisa, 7 commandments were given to the Bnei Noach, the children of Noah, the Noahides. Dinim, laws. These have to do with civil laws, establishing courts of justice. Blessing the divine name. That's a euphemism. The writers of the Gemara didn't even want to write down cursing the name of God. They couldn't bring themselves to do that, so they came up with a euphemism of blessing the name of God. It's cursing God's name. Idolatry, sexual transgressions, murder, theft, and eating a limb from a live animal. That's 56a of Tractate Sanhedrin. Now, we also have, many centuries later, we have the Rambam, Moses ben Maimon, also known as Maimonides. He wrote a monumental work called the Mishneh Torah, just volumes and volumes and volumes on a whole raft of subjects. And one of these volumes is the Mishneh Torah on Hilchos Melachim, the laws of kings. Now, in this section of the laws of kings, the Rambam mentions Bnei Noach. And what he says here in the Mishnah, in Mishneh Torah, chapter 9, 6 precepts were commanded to Adam. 6 precepts were commanded to Adam. A, the prohibition against the worship of false gods. The prohibition against cursing God. C, the prohibition against murder. D, prohibition against incest and adultery. E, prohibition against theft. And F, the commandment to establish laws and courts of justice. Now, he then goes on and says to Noah, because remember, this starts off, 6 precepts were given to Adam. And he goes, to Noah were added the prohibition against eating flesh from a living animal. And thus there are 7 commandments. So, according to the Rambam, 6 of the commandments were given to Adam. They were topped off with the 7th commandment to Noah, and we know them collectively as the 7 Noahide laws. As I said in a previous video, these are 7 categories of laws. The laws that apply to the Noahides also apply to Jews. There's nothing in the 7 commandments, you don't do this, don't do that, that's also not also applies to the Jewish people. You can't say, well, Noahides are prohibited from murdering, but we can do it. Or Noahides can't steal, but we can. If you go through the Torah, the 5 books of Moses, and you count all the thou shalts and thou shalt nots, all the commandments, there's 613. Of those 613, the 7 categories apply to the Noahides, and those go way before the revelation at Sinai, which gives the Jewish people the 613. The Noahides already had 6 categories. In a later video, we'll get into exactly the breakdown of each group and what each category contains. And until then, I hope you're enjoying these videos. On behalf of the Emunah Project, I'm Daniel. Thank you too much.